So anyway, I finally last year got a chance to go to see one of the races, and it was epic. For me, as a shop owner, to go and not have to do anything and just watch and enjoy it. It's a great group, and great chemistry, very competitive, but supportive. And so I just got to watch. And one question kept going off in my head is, where the fuck are the British bikes? And there were none. So I talked to Peter. I said, what do you think about if we brought some British bikes? He goes, I think they would love that. And we wouldn't necessarily be competitive, but we could partake. And because of our relationship with Andover Norton, when they heard about that, they said, we'll support you. And so instantly we were in let's put a race team together. And so what's going on since that is pieces have fallen into place. Sadly, we had one former guild member in hospice. He said, I heard about what you guys want to do. Here's a big fat check to seed it. Oh, okay. And then I get this call from Warren who says, hey, I've got a bike I need you to finish that we talked about before. And behind me now is the core for Arms for Hostages, where we got a Norton Commando that we're going to build into a track race bike. And so we're going to do it. We're going to campaign next year. There's 6 races. And the fact that we have Peter here as a rider and can train our guys, and Kenny down there with all the kind of tech specs, it's a good place to do it. Lots of energy, lots of interest. And so talk about USCRA.
Yeah, so the USCRA is the United States Classic Racing Association. It's the oldest vintage racing association in the country. It's been around since, I think, the early 80s. I watched my dad race back in the 70s, and then I got a Honda 350 from him. His old race bike he gave to me. And this place popped up, Classic Bike Experience, and I was looking for a way to get my foot in the door. I popped in once, and I saw that it was all English stuff, and I went away and eventually came back around and said, hey, you got room for a Japanese bike? And Jack was very accommodating. And then I was looking, because the vibe in this place is so great, I was looking for something to do here. So like some kind of a project. So I posted on the USCRA page, hey, I'm looking for a cheap project bike that I can turn into a race bike. And a guy gave me one in exchange for a bottle of Maker's Mark. He gave me a T500, stock T500 barn find with everything except for one clutch lever. Rolled that here, started tearing into it. Fast forward a few months, Ken LaValle heard about it. He'd done some building for a racer in Australia. He and I connected, and the bike took off from there. And it's a very fast T500, which I've been racing that bike for the last 8 years, been racing in general for 15 years. But Jack coming down, I kind of knew it's just a matter that as soon as someone from this shop came down and got the wind of what the track was like, what the kind of the scene was like with the USCRA, I was pretty clear it was going to get the hooks into whoever showed up. And Jack showed up, and boom, he was hook line. By noon, he was, so where's the rule book? And where to try and run? Like he showed up at 10, and by noon, he was already plotting about. And then the next day, so that was race weekends are Saturday and Sunday. So Jack was there on Saturday. On Sunday, Anayat and Khalil, who were also here at the shop, came down, and they were like kids in a candy store. They're all over it, and they've got 2 bikes they're building up. And so pretty quickly we went from Jack's idea for like, oh, let's see if we can get a bike and do a little bit of this, to full-on race team, multiple bikes, multiple racers. And then the Warren piece sort of dropped the whole thing to its final stage, where we had a viable bike and a way to get started, and the money, the endowment from the friend of the shop who just passed. Sort of all the pieces fell into place just perfectly to make it happen. So I think we're in great shape to do something really pretty fun and special next year. I tell you right now, the problem with vintage racing these days is that bikes from the 50s and 60s are all sort of in people's living rooms or barns or museums and dining rooms, right? But no one wants to race them because they're getting so valuable now that no one wants to race and risk crashing. So more and more people are racing more, modern bikes and cheap bikes like Honda CB350s from the 70s, and then Honda Hawks from the 80s. Crashing sucks, but when you crash, like the whole club is like, what do you need? Like, we need a clutch lever for you. Yep, I got a clutch lever that might work. I have a new. I think you need new forks. Let's get our alignment bars out and check your forks. Like when you have a problem, everyone sort of circles the wagons and tries to get you back on the track, even if they're going to stuff you in turn one in the next race. They want you out there. So, the fight is just from lap 1 to lap 8, and then everyone's friends and pulling for each other outside of that window.
So I think the theme we wanted to, we're still working on the team name and all, but the vibe we want is like a high school cross country team. Everybody participates. The varsity guys are good, but if you improve every week and do a PR, everybody celebrates that. So the 3 words we said were start, finish, improve, right? So that's the idea. And so even though we're going to be in classes that we're not going to be particularly competitive, we're going to improve every week. So the other thing we have are great resources. So if you think about, just go 50 feet down there and you've got accomplished racer and builder, know the rules, all that. We also have Andover Norton in England, right? They keep all the Norton stuff, and they campaign some bikes, and also we have resources there. We've got our own contacts in our own circle. So the Kenny Cummins in New York City, Norton, Jim Schmidt, others, more than happy to share inside tips into how do you make these things go reliably and have a good day at the track. So the fact that you can get to the bike to the start, run a race, finish a race reliably speaks to the build, and keeping it on the track speaks to the rider. So I think we got both things covered. It should be pretty fun.
Right. We actually raced together already on the dirt. Yeah. Griffin's a fairly accomplished dirt bike rider.
Yeah. And Peter's been winning races.
Not on dirt bikes, but yes, on road racing. Yes, I've won many races and many championships with the USCRA. And actually, probably almost 15 years ago now, I taught I licensed motorcycle riders for the state of Vermont through their Vermont Rider Education Program. So I have quite a bit of experience teaching people how to ride, just beginning with point to the clutch, here's the brake, this is how you shift, here's how you balance.
Yeah.
So this will be new, teaching someone how to race. But I'm really looking forward to working with Griffin on getting on the track to begin with, and then hopefully getting fast.
Yeah, definitely try. I'm excited for it.